South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grand View Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby. South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Hello, everybody. In just 5 hours and 15 minutes, we will have NFL action from New Orleans. And the sports book behind me, right there, here at the South Point, will be packed with Broncos and Saints fans. I saw some Bronco jerseys already walking through the hotel. Hello, and welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us for Lunch with Punch, ladies and gentlemen, live here from the South Point in Vegas. The show is a fun mix of sports, comedy, conversation, some gambling advice. I'm your host, Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan. And today's show, well, we're going to make you feel like a boss, just like Tom Brady felt when he walked through the door as his PR team instructed him to. Here he is, walking through the door at the Raiders headquarters and just taking in the glory. Look at him, Mark Davis. There's Mark Davis going, I can't believe we got this guy. Mark Davis is like, look, he's like, it's like looking in a mirror, this guy. A big hug, and that's how I walk into the studio every day, ladies and gentlemen. I walk in, everyone applauds and goes crazy, and I just take it in. He had the look on his face when he saw the Raiders logo, like, oh, I thought I was buying the Golden Knights. Siri, cancel big transaction immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to introduce the gentleman to my right now. Gambling Hall of Famer, Vinny Magliulo was sitting in the beginning of the show. Vinny, hey!
You see, this is why I love this show.
Why is that?
Because you get applause.
Every time. Well, we're always happy.
And it's live.
It's live.
Like we have all other live shows.
Yeah.
No, nothing. Just
What?
hey, Vinny's here.
Well,
How you doing?
No, we encourage the applause.
But I like the entry. You know, that's how you come in. You and you know, because you're an owner here.
I come
by
in.
virtue of your participation.
All right, I like it.
In the gaming. Yes.
Now, by the way, Tom Brady also got a new haircut. Here's the new haircut he's sporting. Yeah, look at this. Oh no. He's got the Mark Davis cut, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Why does he look like he's in Dumb and Dumber right there?
I don't know, but he may wind up with a helmet on. As even like just for old time's sake.
Well, you know, just for a joke, we've been saying, and I keep teasing Jeff Parles, I still think he was going to quarterback the Dolphins all year. It seemed like too good of a
This
fit.
year?
Yeah, this year. With Tua hurt, it's not going to happen now because he's an owner of a team.
Right. Interesting. Does he get tempted to? I don't think he's allowed to. Though.
It's like the movie Heaven Can Wait when Warren Beatty bought the team and became the quarterback. Joe Pendleton.
Joe, very good.
Also on the show today, we have a trifecta of guests today. Later on in the show, in about 15 minutes, live from KC, one of our all-time favorites, Mr. Dennis Evans, will be here. Then at around 12:35, right before picks at 12:36, the return of one of the Punchy's favorites. That's why he's back. Mr. Joe D'Amico will be back on the show. You've known Joe a long time.
Long time. Joe does a great job. Good selections.
Knows his stuff.
Very entertaining.
And both of
good.
you have said you will take me to the Italian-American Club at some point.
We will. Now, whether or not you get out of there is another
I believe your son
No,
was there.
you'll be safe.
He was there not so. Last week you were there?
Vince was there. Yeah.
A couple weeks ago? I got to go there.
Yeah. You will. We'll get you there, Frank.
All
You'll
right,
have a
Vinny.
good
So
time.
listen, I want to start off, and this is I know it's something you might not want to talk about, but we have to address.
Go ahead.
Game 3. I'm going to call it Shea Stadium. I'm never calling it Citi Field. It's Shea Stadium.
Yeah, it is.
Last night was not a good night for
it wasn't.
your amazing Mets.
You know, they were amazing. Last night they were an amazing mess. So, but if you look at this postseason, they have shown the ability to rebound, right?
Sure.
I mean, they had that tough loss against Philadelphia, but even it goes back to when they were playing Milwaukee. They had to play their way in Atlanta with a doubleheader to make a makeup doubleheader after the season was over. They responded after game 1. Let's see if they can respond after last night. Because if they don't, I mean, it's
you can't go down 3-1.
No, you can't go down 3-1 to this Dodger team. They're too good.
And the thing about the Dodgers is I just saw a graphic up on TV. The amount of injuries just to their pitching staff.
Yeah,
there's a good dozen guys, 10 to 12 guys that aren't. And somehow Dave Roberts is juggling this bullpen, which he's always gotten a lot of heat for. But he's doing it right in this series because, and the whole postseason, they've been on that amazing scoreless streak for a while.
And I think the Mets, what's hurting the Mets is, and it's the exact opposite. The Mets are putting people on. I mean, they're averaging giving up like 8 or 9 walks a game. You can't give free passes to, especially a team this good with this much talent
with 3 MVPs
and
at the
guys
top of
that just rake. I mean, it's ridiculous. So. I mean, look, it's a great. Indians are in a similar spot.
The
right?
Guardians.
I'm sorry, the Guardians.
No,
the
I can't
Cleveland
believe
Guardians.
I'm the one correcting someone on that. That is a first. We're grandfathered in.
Yeah, that's. I think so.
I think so.
Right?
If you saw Toby Hara or Andre Thornton play, you're allowed to say it.
So if you love Major League,
right? Exactly, which is on all the time, by the way.
So I mean, they're in a similar situation. It's a must-win, I think, for the Guardians as well.
Well, one
obviously.
of the reasons it's a must-win for the Mets is Shohei Ohtani's blast, which put a cap on it. Now, this is a top-of-show breaking video I want to show you. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of these bars called COSM, C-O-S-M. There's one in Dallas and there's one in L.A.
Okay.
All right, so what these bar, it's a sports bar, but they have a camera behind the home plate or right at ice level, so you literally think you're at the game. Okay, so there's one in L.A. Here is Shohei Ohtani's home run. Now, wait till they kind of zoom around. So this is a shot, and they're going to pull out a little here. So you'll see. Now, this is people in a sports bar. So there you see the people, but the way the screen is.
So these folks are in the bar?
No, they're in a bar. They're in a bar. They're not at the game. They're in L.A. That game's 3,000 miles away.
Pretty good effect.
It is, and when they do hockey, we showed a clip the other day. You're right behind the ice by one of the goals, and it looks like you're at the game.
No, good. Wow, that's true. Meanwhile, I know they're making a big deal about Ohtani and breaking out and hitting a home run. Max Muncy was ridiculous last night.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he turned into Sam Musial.
Sam Musial. The thing about Max Muncy is he's the streakiest guy, right? He'll go 0 for 20, and then all of a sudden he'll rip off 4 or 5 home runs.
Yeah, feast or famine. He did nothing going into this series. He's had a great series so far. In fact, through 3 games, if you ask me, I think he's our MVP.
He might be. And the fact that Shohei hit that home run, which was a towering shot, is all the more impressive when you see this video, what happened to him, the at-bat before. So here's a little foul. Oh, okay. Oh, the count was 0-2, but now it's 2-2. Yeah, so he looked horrible on that at-bat. He lunged at a pitch, and then he struck out, and he made the adjustment and came back. So enough about Shohei. We don't need to talk about the Dodgers.
It's enough about the damn Dodgers.
All
okay,
right.
Frank?
It's only, by the way, the Mets fans online, you would think they've lost this. It's 2-1.
Well,
and
listen,
you're at home.
Met fans, listen, let me tell you, it's always about drama. It's always about miracles.
Right.
That's just, it goes back to 1969 with those.
I can't believe you just said that because my next thing was about this.
See that?
1969, you had the Mets win the World Series, as we all know. Also, the Jets won their only Super Bowl.
That's correct.
And
January 12th, I believe. And by the way, yesterday,
right.
I think it was the 55-year anniversary of the Mets clinching. I know we've got a crack staff back there.
We'll get the staff on it. They're all searching for it.
Go ahead.
By the way, today is the 46th anniversary of Willie Stargell hitting a homer in Game 7. Pirates beating the Orioles in 79.
In 79.
79.
They were down 3-1.
They were down 3-1. They were down 3-1 in 1971 and came back and beat the Baltimore Orioles. And then 3-1 in 79. Only team to do it twice. And
Two
they did
great teams.
In the same decade, Willie Stargell popped. So anyway, 1969, and I wasn't sure about this. The Knicks actually the 69-70 season also won the title.
You know, when I was growing up, you bring up a good point.
What a
because
year.
I mean, it was just a tremendous time to grow up in the New York metropolitan area. And the other, of course, it laid a great foundation for my present career because everything was, you knew about the number. You knew about, I mean, the New York Daily News had, we had runs for the week. We would have pools. I mean, everybody. So, Frank, I'm going to tell you a story, man, because and by the way, the Rangers, I want to say the New York Rangers, because the Islanders weren't born that time till 72. There were no New Jersey Devils.
Yeah.
I think the Rangers made it to the Stanley Cup semifinals, if I'm not mistaken.
So it was a magical year.
So it was Title Town. I mean, there was a team. The team was always was playing for a title. So, 1969, January. Now, I have to preface this story, if you don't mind, with my last appearance here.
Which was
when I made my first race bet at 8 years old. When I'll give you the Cliff Notes version for those that didn't see it.
I love it.
My Uncle Tony, he knew I was bored during the summer. He says, you want to go? Let's take a ride. I said, where you want to go? He says, I'll take. You want to go by the? We'll go to the zoo. So I'm thinking, we're going up to the Bronx. We're going to go see, go to the Bronx Zoo. I figured, we'll stop and have a nice check it out. Just better than sitting around.
Right.
So we're driving, and I see we're pulling in, and all of a sudden I'm looking around. I see this Belmont. I'm like, Belmont. We're parking. I said, I'm looking around. I said, hey, Uncle Tony, let me ask you something. What's the story? How come the only animals at this zoo are horses? He says, it's a very special zoo.
It's the horse track. I love that.
So, we said, go see that guy over there at the window. He waves at him. I go up there. I'm going to reach out.
You're 8 years old making a bet.
I'm making a bet. Yeah, why not? So that set the table. So now let's fast forward to 1969. You mentioned the Jets. And here is the New York Daily News. And on the back of the Daily News, great headlines, even to this day, along with the Post. Joe guarantees victory. Jets 18-point dogs.
Right.
So I'm looking at this and I'm going, hey, Pop, let me ask you something. What's the story with this 18 points?
Explain this to me.
So he says, well, your uncles, both the ones here in New York, and I had my Uncle Dom out here in Las Vegas, my godfather, naturally.
Nice.
They're saying that the Colts are that much better than the Jets.
Right.
I said, what do you mean, like they're gonna beat them like that? He goes, yeah, they're saying that the Jets are going to get killed.
Right.
So I kind of pause again, and I look at the paper, and I hold it up to him, and I look at him again. I said, so let me get this straight, Pop. The Jets could lose, but we could still win. No more going to the zoo with your uncle.
Get the skull. Yeah.
That was it. I'm like, Pop, you got to be. Meanwhile, and here's another valuable lesson out of that game. 18 points, right? Not good enough. Uncle Tony, my man, he was the greatest. I got a guy. I got a guy in Philly who's got a guy in Baltimore. Naturally, in Baltimore, everybody was betting on the Colts, right?
Okay.
19.
Oh, my God.
Yep, that's right.
Extra point.
12-year-old Vinny Magliulo walking around with $50 in school. I was like flush. $50. I mean, you gave me 50. I was like $50. Are you kidding? Of course.
That's a ton of money.
Are you kidding me? Of course. Yeah, I spent it all on baseball cards, which I don't have to this day. But anyway, that was my follow-up to the very special zoo.
And the Knicks, that was the, I don't know, they won one or two.
They won in 70. They got beaten in the semis in 71 to the, at the time, Baltimore Bullets, and then the Milwaukee Bucks won that year.
That was Kareem,
70,
right?
That was Lou Alcindor.
Lou Alcindor, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And then in 72, they lost in the finals to the Lakers, and then they won in 73 over the Lakers again.
So their championship year that started in 69, their first game of the year, they beat an expansion team. Do you know who it was on the opener?
The Knicks?
The Knicks. In 69, their opening game.
It wasn't Phoenix. Was it?
They won 126 to 101.
Was it Phoenix? Phoenix was...
I had to look this up. It was not Phoenix. You're on the right coast, though. The Seattle Supersonics. Seattle Supersonics. I didn't realize they...
With Al Attles, maybe?
I think that was I looked at the box score. I think you're right.
I think Al Attles was on that team.
Wow. So now listen, I'm heading out to the racetrack for the South Point 400 this weekend, and you're going to be there Saturday. I'll be there Saturday.
Yes.
And it's going to be a lot of fun because you will, at 3 o'clock, you kind of hold court there and do some fun stuff.
So I have to tell you that it's the South Point 400, which is a playoff race for the Cup Championship. And you come into the track before you enter the exact track. Once you come through the ticket terminal area, there's a midway area, and the South Point has a tremendous amount. It's probably about half the size of the sports book.
Okay,
it's got prize giveaways. Wow. The Clydesdales are out there. There's a Budweiser, Budweiser bar, DJ. It's a party.
I'm there.
Okay, so what I do is I go. In fact, today I'm going to do it. I go and I write, tickets.
Okay,
not admission tickets, folks.
Right.
I write bet tickets for folks to give away. We have a little trivia fun. We have a little interaction with the fans. So, nice. For instance, we've got props up.
Okay.
So I'll write a ticket on the winning manufacturer. Which car? Will it be a Ford? Will it be a Chevy or a Toyota? And I'll have 3 people come up, and I'll ask them questions, and each one gets a ticket. But somebody's going to win
because
gonna win
that's money. You're giving away money.
We've got groups of drivers, so kind of sort of like head-to-head in the race. So a race within the race, Frank,
all about
which is great. It's one of the most popular bets that we. So in each group, we'll write a ticket on each driver, and then somebody will come up, and we have a lot of fun. The fans, and I will tell you this about NASCAR fans.
Okay,
Frank, as knowledgeable as any fans you're going to come across. Yeah. Like we'll break down football, baseball, things like that. NASCAR fans,
they know everything.
If there's a carburetor change, if there's an equipment, so I mean the crew, things about the crew, and if there's a crew chief change or things like that.
Well, watching Gone Racing with Jeff Motley and Brennan Gaughan, they talk about it all the time.
The best NASCAR show you're gonna.
I chimed in. I was watching live and chimed in yesterday, so I'm looking forward to it. I'll be out there Saturday as well.
Yeah.
The last thing we got to do with Vinny before we let him go is there is a football game this weekend. It's Sunday night.
There is.
The Jets at Steelers.
The Jets.
Again, I'm obviously always biased on betting the Steelers, but it's your team, my team. Parl's team is the Jets as well.
Yeah.
Somehow the Jets are favored in this game. Devontae Adams is going to. Wow, it's a miracle. His hamstring healed in just a couple weeks.
It's amazing that it's that water in New York. You heard so much about. It's the healing waters.
It's the healing waters for bagels and pizza and hamstrings. So the Jets are favored. I don't know how, but
well, we did open on Sunday night. The Steelers as 1.5-point favorites. The Jets are now a 2-point favorite.
It's up to 2.
Frank. Yeah. So
okay.
Sean,
it's probably take this bet.
It's probably. Right, we should have a little action.
Well, yeah, we can
action.
do that.
Okay.
You have an idea for a bet for you and I.
I do, Frank, and I have to credit my wife for this because she's a big fan of yours.
Okay.
And she pays very close attention, particularly not only to the show, but also when we come and see you perform. My wife said, I think it's only right that you should take care of Frank when with the winter coming. And your fashion designs and things like that. She knows that your favorite place to shop, is what I'm going to show you.
Okay.
If the Steelers win this game, all right, I'll take you shopping at Savers, Frank. Okay.
All I need, it's like that's like a $20 bet then.
So this is, I think that this is, and by the way, here you can get started.
Okay,
that's for you.
I'll take this back.
So all right, that's for you.
Right.
All right. So my wife now.
Today's 50% off purple tags.
Now.
It is. Thursdays is a big day.
As you can tell.
Because I might go get a NASCAR show. I've already planned this out.
Something tells me that whoever wins this game, I'm going to be paying. So, but and then let's see, if the Jets prevail,
right? I have to take you shopping where you shop. Oh no!
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah.
Oh, this is it. This is.
I don't. Yeah, I have a Lloyd's of London bag
here.
Oh
God. Oh, okay. All right. This seems fair. I have that much confidence. I have that much confidence. All right, Vinny, thank you for stopping by. I'll see you Saturday.
I'll see you Saturday.
I'm going to be out the track. I can't wait for the
we'll have some fun.
Vinny Magliulo, everybody. Vince is applauding for his dad behind the glass, ladies and gentlemen. Always love that. Thank you, Vinny. I believe I see a gentleman in the left-hand corner. He can probably hear me. Dennis, you can hear me, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing this guy in, one of our favorites on the show. It looks like he has some sort of Steeler merchandise behind him over his shoulder. I see black and gold.
That's my Missouri Tigers blanket.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, live from Missouri. It's Dennis Evans is back, ladies and gentlemen. And he's not in a van once again. Kind of disappointing, but we'll take it. Dennis, you look dapper today. Looks like you're ready to head off and do something special. What's going on?
Yeah, you got to head and work out of Anchor Sports tonight, so hence the blazer and the shirt and all, and the full get up.
It looks good on you, man. I can't. So that's a Missouri. That's a Missouri banner back there. Jeff Parles will be here tomorrow.
Got my Missouri Tiger blanket, getting ready for the big game this weekend against Auburn. And
oh man,
trying to bounce back. I mean, let me tell you, Missouri Tigers. We can beat the hell out of an FCS school. I mean, we can kill an FCS school. So I want to see how we actually do against somebody from the SEC this weekend.
I love it. So let's talk about pro football. Let's shift to your Chiefs now. Actually, why don't we do my That's Crazy right here? We're going to have Dennis here. Dennis, we're going to do a couple features. This is That's Crazy. So I found this stat here, and it's about your Chiefs. And when I type the word Chiefs, I still have never spelled the word Chiefs right. I got to remember it's I before E except after C. I spell it wrong every time, and autocorrect just looks at me and goes, "You're a moron." But anyway, look at this. If Dennis can see this, this is right here. This is Patrick Mahomes against the spread as an underdog. Now, we know they're 1.5-point underdogs against San Francisco, but look at all those wins. There's a push in there and one loss. But what is that, 11, 1-1? That's insane. Right. So when we look at the lines, like you might have just heard Vinny and I saying, the Steelers at home in primetime under Mike Tomlin playing a 2-4 Jets team, they're getting 2 points at home. I am going to run to the sports book and parlay it with the Chiefs. How do you feel about the Chiefs being an underdog against the Niners, who are a little banged up?
That makes no sense to me. I mean, you don't have it makes no sense. You have CMC that's not playing in this game. You've got offensive linemen hurt. You've got defensive guys hurt. I mean, and here's the thing about the Chiefs. We've seen this year, they don't dominate anyone. They don't dominate any team. So nothing surprises me. But the one thing I found about this team, the level of calm and the ability to win a game. Like, they just have a sense on that sideline where they never lose control, where it's never, oh no, there goes the game. They just know how to win football games. So I don't have them really losing until they go somewhere like a Buffalo or, I could see them losing on the road to the Bills, but I don't see them losing to the Niners on the road.
I really don't either. And I know the odds makers want to, they just want to make the Chiefs, they want to make the Chiefs a villain, right? The NFL's trying to do this. Right. No one wants to see them win 3 in a row. We don't want the new Patriots. First of all, the Chiefs are likable, unlike the Patriots. I love Patrick Mahomes, so I can root for them, but I just do not see how you can go against them getting points when they're 6-0. Again, I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But what do I know? You know what I'm saying? So I wonder.
They didn't build all those big buildings out there with the fancy lights and give away free drink because they don't know what they're.
This is true.
Sometimes they get it right.
Now let's talk about your Royals. The season ended, unfortunately. I was rooting for Bobby Witt Jr. and the Royals because I enjoy a small market team. What is the feeling around? I don't think anyone was expecting them to go even as far as they did. But now, is there an expectation for next year? The GM made some key moves. I think people are now like, okay, maybe Cleveland's run ends and we can win that division and have some home games. So what's the feeling around town about the Royals?
I think it's very reminiscent to kind of, if you go back to what it was like here in 2014 and 15. In 2014, the Royals kind of came out of nowhere and they made it, I believe, all the way to the World Series, and they lost the World Series. And then, before that, baseball had been so bad here for so long. They hadn't won since, the what was it, 1985. That was the last time
the
they had gone to
Saberhagen
World
year,
Series
right?
or even had. Yeah. And it's very similar. Last year, the Royals had 106 losses. Before that, it had just been back-to-back 100-loss seasons. The stadium, I'm going to be honest with you, it was so funny watching the playoffs because people were like, where's my Royals gear? People were looking for it. This is such a Chiefs dominant town that leading up to those last few series, the stadium was half empty. And then once they got in the playoffs, once they won at Baltimore, then all of a sudden people were fired up again. But keep in mind, this is a team that they put together. You have Bobby Witt Jr., you have, the catcher that everybody
Perez,
knows. And then you also have, Perez. And then you have the first baseman, Pasquantino.
The Italian guy.
Everyone kind of knew those three guys, but all those other guys were really new to people in Kansas City. So people weren't really on it. Now it's kind of like okay, we actually have a little squad here. And they just had a really good draft pick that they got out of Florida State who could end up being very good. So, I mean, this could turn Kansas City back into a town. I think the expectation's high. Now they're going to have to meet that expectation, and all the pitchers that pitched, out of their socks this year, they're going to have to do the same thing next year for the Royals to be, to meet that same level of expectation.
I agree. And then St. Louis Blues. Now, do you follow hockey? Are you a St. Louis Blues guy a little bit? Okay.
Yes.
So the Blues play tonight.
On the Blues.
That's right. They play tonight, and the Blues are home dogs hosting the Islanders. So how do you feel about your St. Louis Blues?
No, no.
No.
I think the Islanders. I'm just not sold on the Blues yet. I'm just not sold on. I'm feeling about the Blues the way I feel about my Cardinals. They need to show me consistently that they can play, and they have not done that at all to me. And it's early in the season, but I just don't believe in the Blues yet.
All right. And what about Missouri with they're minus 4.5? Do you think they cover this weekend? No. Okay, so they win a close one against Auburn.
No, it's homecoming, but they win a close game. Missouri has not shown me that they can stop the run, and they haven't shown me consistently that they can play offense. And they don't put enough points on the board. I mean, the Cook has taken a huge step back this year. It showed me how much he was relying on the run last year, and that was really saving Mizzou. They don't have that same running attack this year, and they're just not. They're not the same team at all. So,
right.
I would take Auburn in the points.
All right. Okay, Jeff Parles will be here tomorrow to talk about his Mizzou. He's an alma mater. Let me start that over. He's a graduate of Mizzou as well. All right. We have something on the show, Dennis, that we're going to have you play along with today. It's the Punch Bowl Pundits time. All right. We even have a beautiful graphic here. It's very soothing before it gets very crazy. Are we going to see the graphic? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so look. Oh, look at Punch Bowl Pundits. So I pull out pieces of paper for here. We got a couple for you while we have you here, and we're very excited to have you here. All right, Punch Bowl question number 1. ESPN bets for NFL MVP. So I'm going to go and say Lamar Jackson is second. Jaden Daniels is also on the list. C.J. Stroud, Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes is plus 325 right now. Is he the league MVP, and could he win the MVP this year? What do you think?
I don't. I mean, I don't. How could he possibly win the MVP? Right now, I believe he has like 6 or 7 interceptions and about 6 touchdowns.
Right.
This season, he's not having an MVP type season, and I mean, I know he's lost receivers. If they give it to him, it's going to be because the Chiefs go on some crazy run,
undefeated or something, right? Yeah.
They're going to have to do something like that. Lose one game, just one game all season long. You can't give him the MVP he's not having an MVP type season.
So he's the favorite. Second is Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's going to be there every year, it seems. And C.J. Stroud and Josh Allen. I feel like Stroud or Allen seem like, to me, I would probably go with one of those two because I just can't bet on a Raven. I won't do it. I hate Lamar Jackson.
And they're not going to give it to him back-to-back years. They're not going to give it to Lamar back-to-back years, no.
But here's the long shot. Plus 1,800, Sam Darnold. Now, okay, look, he's been
I knew that's who you were going to say.
It's a great story. Look, watching the Vikings play and their defense with Brian Flores, it's great. They're a great team, but he's plus 1,800. What's wrong with maybe throwing 10 or 20 bucks on Sam Darnold right now?
I'd throw 100 on that. I'll be honest. I would throw 100 on Sam Darnold. We were having. It's so funny you say this. I was with my photographer and we were leaving the Monday night football game against the Saints, and we were walking outside and we were talking about MVP for the season and who's going to be the MVP. And my photographer said, Sam Darnold. He goes, "What about Sam Darnold?" And the other guy with us goes, "At some point, Sam Darnold's going to Sam Darnold." At some point, he's going to wake up and be like, "Oh, my bad, I'm Sam Darnold." And when that happens, it's going to come back down. But for right now, he's having one of those seasons.
He is.
I could see them giving him the award, especially if they keep winning.
Yeah, he's in that right system, and he looks good and composed. He's never really had a solid shot. He's bounced around from some horrible teams, so I'm rooting for him. My dad's name is Sam, so I'm rooting for him. And I read something interesting. Everyone's saying, he's comeback player of the year, and I don't know if this was a rule change, but comeback player of the year has to be someone who has come back from adversity or injury or sickness or something, because everyone said, Sam Darnold. And the reason they did this was Flacco won last year and not DeMar Hamlin. So they've actually kind of changed the rules. Like DeMar Hamlin should have been. The guy was dead and came back and played football again. I mean, so I don't know. Sam Darnold can't get that, but he was dead, and he was dead.
He came back from being Sam Darnold.
Yeah, right. His career was dead. He brings up a great point.
Sam Darnold.
All right, we have another one here for you. All right, here, let me do this one instead. Let me see which one this is. Oh, okay. So Giannis, who I used to call Giannis, but it's Giannis. Chris Andrews corrected me on my Greek pronunciation. So it's Punch Bowl 2, and Giannis Antetokounmpo gave a pair of shoes to two kids who were brothers, then realized they might fight over them, so he gave them a jersey. Watch this clip, Dennis. So very sweet. This is a preseason game, and all he's saying is share them with your brother. So, you know, he has a brother, obviously, so he realizes this might be a bad idea. They're going to fight over the shoes. You know what? You take the shoes. And he gives the other kid the jersey. All the while, there's a little kid in the background going, what about me? He got nothing. Look at the kid in the background. He's like, hey, Giannis, you got a sweatband? Giannis, can I get a high five? Can I get something? He's giving away. So here's my question to you. What brother got the best memorabilia, the shoes or the shirt? Now, I saw a similar signed pair of shoes for $600 on eBay, and the jersey was $375 on eBay, signed by Giannis. What would you rather have? What brother got the better deal, shoes or jersey?
Okay, here's the deal. One day, one of those kids could possibly wear that jersey as a long jersey.
Right.
Neither one of them will ever fit into those shoes.
Good point. It's a good point.
You will never get to where you can wear that as a long jersey, tuck it in, get it hemmed. You can't do anything with those shoes but you could, sell Giannis's shoes or put them on a shelf somewhere. That's the only option. At least with the jersey, at some point, you could maybe say, hey, I'm wearing Giannis's jersey.
Right.
I mean, you can't do anything in his shoes but go skiing. I mean, there's nothing they can do but canoe or ski in their shoes.
The funniest thing you said under your breath was maybe get it hemmed, because coming from a guy who has to get all his pants hemmed, I know about the struggle.
And a guy who gets his everything hemmed, I understand,
yes.
Right?
Got to get stuff hemmed. Anytime I buy jeans, I'm like, oh, they fit perfectly. Yep, gonna have to get them hemmed. It's a battle. It's a battle. Now, my question also to you is there a jersey or pair of shoes of a current player that you would maybe lay some money down to pay for? Who would be in any sport? No one. No.
Not a current. And I say this all the time because, I mean, I've been covering sports for so long. There's no one current. Like the current guys, I mean, any of them could walk in here right now and knock on the door, and I'd open the door and be like, oh, okay, yeah, you're looking for Kate? She's down the hall. Like that, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to me, but like guys I grew up watching.
Okay, so who?
People those are the people who I really.
All right, who would be a signed jersey you would want? You had one choice. You walk into a museum, they have them all. Who do you take?
I take Tony Dorsett.
Oh, Aliquippa's finest.
Yes, yeah, I definitely take your Pitt guy. That's how I became a Cowboy fan. He played for Pitt. I watched him play at Pitt. The Cowboys drafted him, and truthfully, I'd never even heard of the Cowboys. I'm like, he's going to the Cowboys, I'm going to the Cowboys, and I went to the Cowboys with Tony Dorsett. So that's my one guy who I'd love. I met him at a Super Bowl a couple of years ago, and I mean,
oh wow,
I went straight up. I went fanboy. I went like,
how can you not? Yeah,
Mr. Dorsett. I mean, I was so excited just to meet him. He's the one guy who I've always wanted to meet. So yeah, definitely be a Tony Dorsett.
Wait,
yeah,
I got a question.
I think I'd go like Willie Stargell. I have a Bradshaw sign that I got as a gift. So those were my heroes growing up, Bradshaw and Willie Stargell. So one of those two for me. You know, though, thinking in Kansas City, George Brett was my favorite, like non-Pirate. I loved George Brett. So George Brett would be a good one to have too.
And it's weird because I see him around all the time.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, when I first saw him being a Cardinals fan, I was still just kind of pissed a little bit about the 85 World Series. I have to ask you this, though. You mentioned the Pirates. Do you have one of the old Pittsburgh hats?
I do.
The 3-layer?
Yeah.
You do?
I have one.
When I was a kid, was the hippest hat.
I think they're called, is it a pillbox hat, I think? And the one I have, and I still have it, it has Stargell stars on it. And they kind of wore one retro like that this year, but mine was like sewn in Stargell stars. I got it in 79 or 80. So yeah, I still have it. They were the best.
That's to me some of the best gear ever. And I have to also tell you real quick, I'm spending Christmas, so I'm going to get recommendations from you. The Chiefs are playing the Steelers Christmas Day. I'm spending Christmas Eve and Christmas in Pittsburgh.
Okay, I will hook you up with people who will hang out with you if you need and tell you all the restaurants and bars you got to go to. I love it. All right, so listen, one last thing with you. I'm going to go ahead and do the AI magic with Dennis. So today is October 17th, 2024. Now, Dennis, I'm going to read a list of all the national days that these silly days they do. One of them is fake. Let's see if you can spot it. The crew also likes to play along. So here we go. October 17th, 2024, National Spreadsheet Day, National Pasta Day, Black Poetry Day, National Mulligan Day, Harry Potter Book Day, National Payback a Friend Day, World Play Monopoly Day, and Wear Something Gaudy Day. Which one is fake? The crew, let's see here. So Sean says Mulligan Day is fake. Jerry says World Play Monopoly is fake. Vincent says Wear Something Gaudy Day. And you're not playing? And what do you got?
No. I say it's National Payback a Friend Day because you probably were paying somebody back, and that's why you thought of that.
All right. Dennis, which one sounds fake to you?
I would say National Payback a Friend Day.
One of you is correct. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say it again, Dennis.
If it's National Payback a Friend Day, I got some calls I need to make to people that owe me money. I mean, we need to get off so I can make calls.
The winning person today is Jerry. It is not World Play Monopoly Day. That is fake. So if you owe people money, pay them back. And today's celebrity birthday, Eminem, turns 52 years old. So what we do, Dennis, is we put them all in a machine and have AI combine all the days. There we go. There's Harry Potter with, what is he holding? A meatball? Isn't that meatballs? Or no, that's some sort of... I don't know. There's Eminem at
National Pasta Day.
Pasta Day. Jesus, I forgot that one. Okay. And then you got Eminem. Looks like he's working, maybe working to pay back a friend. Oh, he's working with spreadsheets. There's spreadsheets behind Eminem. Okay, there you go. And he turns 52 today, and they were wearing something gaudy. No, you know who's not wearing something gaudy? Dennis Evans, because he looks like $1 million. Dennis, thank you for being on the show. As always, you are the best. Good luck to you on your Chiefs this weekend. I think they beat. I think the Niners, they're going to beat the Niners. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Evans. Yeah. Give it up for Dennis Evans.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, as always, Dennis Evans. I love it. Go Missouri Tigers for him as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to transition into a gentleman we had on a couple weeks ago, and everybody loves when this guy in. Vinny Magliulo says hello and says hello to Joe. We're going to bring him in. Joe, you can hear me, right?
Absolutely, Frank.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe D'Amico's back on the program wearing his Yankee garb. I love it. Getting fired up for the game, Joe. How you feel about those Yankees right now?
I'm feeling pretty good, Frank, and I'll tell you why. It's not just because I'm a Yankee fan that I feel optimistic about them. It's not just because the Yankees had to take a few years off from winning World Series because we had to make our trophy case bigger.
Right.
But it is because of this, Frank, and nobody's brought this up. The Yankees are the best road team in baseball, period.
Oh.
And to get to the Fall Classic, you've got to win on the road, and I'm very optimistic about them because of that reason. The only other team that was pretty good on the road is now ousted, San Diego Padres. They were one of the best teams, I believe, in the National League on the road. Don't quote me, but Yankees are the best road team in the AL, and I believe that's going to be a big part of them and their success this year.
I love it.
Yes, and I got to be honest. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I'd like to make it to the big game, but either team we face, it would be a lot of fun for us Yankee fans. We don't like the Dodgers and we don't like the Mets.
I know. It's the Major League Baseball is like so happy at these matchups that could happen. No one wants to see Cleveland in there. Unfortunately, I'm a small market guy, but oh well. So listen, Joe, it is officially 12:36, and it's time for picks at 12:36. Woohoo! And that's why we got Joe D'Amico here. Here's our graphic. Here's our little song, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I love it.
Punchline picks at 12:36. All right, Joe. So listen, we're gonna talk some picks. Then I even have a little punch bowl thing here for you. So we're gonna have you stick around for a bit. We know you have to do some ESPN radio at the top of the hour, so we appreciate. We know your time's valuable. So picks at 12:36. Joe, I'm gonna turn it over to you, buddy.
Well, I've got 3 big winners for everybody, and every time I come on the show, I either sweep the board or I go one off. So I'm always excited to be here. 3 games, sports fans, I'm going to be giving out between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I promise you, I'm betting all 3. So you better get down to the sports books here in Vegas or wherever you bet and get them in now because I'm moving the lines. I want to start with a big winner on Friday night. I always like to give anybody that tunes in a winner on Friday night so they can go into the big college football Saturday with a bankroll. I want to talk about this team, Frank. I'm excited about this team. And I think, just like Rodney Dangerfield, the Duke Blue Devils aren't getting a lot of respect. All right? You would think, Frank, I always segue into some sort of comedy with you, Frank. God, Frank, one of these days I'll tell you the time I walked in hungover back in the early 90s into the Caesars Spa in the steam room, and I heard Shecky Green and Rodney Dangerfield's voice. It was the 3 of us. It was the first time I ever did a no-call, no-show to work, ever. And I was in there all day long drinking absolute vodka with those 2 guys in the steam room.
All right, we'll tell. I need to hear that story later, but all right, that's awesome. Oh, my God. All right, so Duke, you like Duke?
I love Duke. I want to talk about this team, Frank. 5-1 this season. You think they'll be getting a little more respect, as I mentioned earlier. Odds makers have them just a 3-point favorite here at home against who? The Florida State Seminoles. I feel this is a big mistake for starters. The Blue Devils have an opportunity to exact a long-time revenge they've held for the Seminoles. Florida State's taking, guess how many? 8 in a row going back to 2006 in this rivalry. Frank, I'm Sicilian. I know a lot about revenge. And trust me, the Duke Blue Devils have had this game circled since the schedule came out. They know these are 2 very different teams this season as opposed to the last several seasons. Let's talk the obvious. FSU 1-5 straight up. They've only covered 2 games this season. Their once feared defense is gone, guys. They're getting steamrolled for over 25.3 points per game. They've got just 2 takeaways through 6 games. Meanwhile, their offense, they're not compensating for the lack of defense. They're averaging just 14.8 points per game. They've turned the ball over 9 times. That is ridiculous. Whether it be in the air or on the ground, this team just can't move the chains. Now they go up against a Duke opponent here at home, come off their first defeat of the season. I love situations like this. As a matter of fact, I expect Duke to come in here and really go to work. They desperately need ACC victories. They're playing well offensively. They're putting up points. Every opponent that they face, they put up points on, guys, and I think they're being very, very tough on the defensive side of the ball. All right, their defense, outstanding, 17.5 a game they're allowing. I think the line is way short here. Lay the field goal with Duke before I move it to 3.5 or even 4 today, folks. This is a winner.
All right, I like those. Look, I follow the ACC more than any other conference because somehow my Pitt Panthers are 6-0 for the first time since Dan Marino days. So I'm liking Pitt, and I think they're 5-1 against the spread. So I think they're off this week. They got Syracuse next week. That'll be a big game. But you gave us Duke. I like it, -3. You're on a roll, Joe. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, Frank, there's a lot of guys in my business that are afraid to talk marquee matchups because you either win and look like a hero or you lose and look like a bad goat. Not a GOAT, the greatest of all time. But Joe D'Amico is not afraid to talk marquee games, especially to you, Frank, and the great staff over at the South Point. I love you guys. I want to talk Georgia, Texas right now. Here, I'm going to give out the winner of this game, Frankie. With all respect to the Bulldogs, they just don't look like the team that many people thought they would be as far as this point in this season. Following their first loss of the campaign on the road at Bama at the end of September, they couldn't blow up or even pull away from either Auburn or Mississippi State in their last 2 outings. They're riding, guess what, an 0-5 ATS cold streak. Guys, we're not here for fun. We're here to make money. This team is ice cold. They're point spread poison. Keep going against them. They're going to keep getting bettors that follow them crushed. I'm telling you now. All right? They are severely overvalued by the odds makers, my friends. This is by far, in my opinion, the toughest team they've had to face yet this season. The Longhorns, they are deserving of their #1 ranking. They aren't just perfect 6-0 straight up, guys. 5-1 ATS this season. They're getting the bettors paid. And let's face it, once again, we're not here to be popular. We're here to win money. And this team has been money. No, it's true. We're not here to make friends. We're here to make money. And trust me, the more money you make, the more friends you're going to have to deal with. I'll tell you that, Frank. That's a lesson I've learned in my 55 years. Having said all that, the Longhorns want to remain the nation's #1 team. They've got to win with authority here this week. 2 teams that are in front, a team that's in front of them or right behind me, you got a couple of big matchups going on here this weekend in the top 10. So teams can leapfrog, teams can solidify their spot. And I think it's very important because style points count. But this game, I'll tell you right now, Georgia allowed Alabama to put up 41, Mississippi State to put up 31 in back-to-back games. And that coming off that loss, I'll tell you right now, let's face it, on the offensive side of the ball, the Bulldogs, they just don't have that same rushing attack to keep defenses honest.
Right.
And I don't see them keeping pace here. Texas, this kid is healthy. Quinn Ewers is healthy. He is back. He is healthy. I'm telling you right now, he's going to look. This is the game. He'll put his mark on that Heisman stamp if he wants to win it. This is the game. It's not against these lesser opponents. By the way, I just want you to know, I'm a big collector. I was talking about Texas. I thought about you. I pulled out. There's only one of these in the world, Frank. All four Mannings signed this ball to me.
Come on.
All four Mannings.
So you got Archie, you got Joe, or not Archie, you got Archie, Eli, Peyton, and what, Cooper? Or who do you have on there? Or is it Arch Jr.?
Arch Jr.
Come on. That
all four on there. All four.
And what is your address, Joe, in case, and when do you go out?
Right up here, I've got the entire 78 Super Bowl Pittsburgh Steelers right there on the end.
Okay.
Every single guy on the team. Heck, I even think the Towel Boys signed that ball. I'll give it to you. You can get those balls half price now.
All right, so listen, I know you have one more pick. I'm gonna we'll do the pick now since this is the longest pick segment we've ever done. I had one pick. What was my pick? Oh, my pick is Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 total bases. It's actually plus money. So I'm going with Shohei Ohtani, who hit that mammoth shot last night. So there it is. And it's plus money. He hits a double to lead off the game. You got a winner. So that's my pick, Joe. I don't know what you think of that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think he's a heck of a ball player. And if you could get him plus anything,
that's what I mean.
For any prop, I think you're already in the plus column because the guy's a monster. He's deserving. Well, I just got a bunch of Ohtani balls signed, and I put a couple in there. Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely. I respect the heck out of the guy. He's a hell of a ball player, and he's far from over. He's got a lot more years ahead of him.
So much more.
And it's a good bet. I think your bet is a good bet.
And what everyone forgets about, and I know I do sometimes, he's a pitcher, and he'll probably pitch again next year and be a solid pitcher for the Dodgers. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
All right, Joe, so you have an NFL pick to finish off your picks, correct?
We're going to finish off the week going 3-0, Frank.
Let's do it.
All you got to do is follow me. But if you follow me, grab a broom because I'm sweeping the board here, Frank. I want to talk about the Niners. I want to make a preemptive strike. I think they're a very good team. But like a lot of other preseason favorites, Frank, they're just not hitting their stride yet. Yes, there's an argument. They've been hit with the injury bug. This team, they're sitting at 3-3, both straight up and against the spread, which makes me question why the odds makers have made them a small favorite at Levi Stadium this Sunday. I think the wrong team is favored here, Frankie.
I really do. Yeah, I do too.
You could say, and now I know you notice you're wearing red there. You're wearing red. Every time one of us on the show, we're wearing red. All right, I'm wearing red, but my underwear I can't show you till later, like last time. But listen to me, Frank. He hits me up in the middle of the night. What are you wearing? No, I'm just kidding. Frank. One
time. All right.
Just that one time.
It was after the Night Ranger show we went to, and
Build 1,000 bridges. They remember that one mistake you made. You know what I'm saying?
One go.
All right. I don't think this team should be an underdog. You say what you want about Kansas City Chiefs, but this team finds new and improved ways to win each week. 11 games straight up win streak, 10-1 against the number, folks. They are money no matter the role the odds makers put them in. Remember that. The odds makers don't have to make a line that's sharp. They have to make a line that they feel they're going to take action on both sides with. So lines don't have to be sharp. And I don't think this is a sharp line because if they made them a favorite or you're going to pick them, they know they get hit with a lot of money the other side. You know that.
Right.
Having said all that, Frank, you're going to read a lot about the Chiefs coming off the bye week, and that is an advantage to them. But the 49ers played Thursday last week.
Right.
So they had a few extra days to rest, heal, and prepare. You can't argue with Patrick Mahomes. No. You just can't argue with him. You just can't. Say what you want. You know what's funny, Frank? The greater you are, the more success you have. Listen, I didn't like anything from the state of Massachusetts, but for anybody to say that Tom Brady and the New England Patriots were in a dynasty is just stupid. Okay?
I know. I agree.
I'm a New Yorker. I don't eat clam chowder, okay? I don't eat anything from the state of Massachusetts. Cream pie, clam chowder, baked beans. No, I don't even eat that stuff because it's all got Boston in it. I'm going to tell you now, that was a great team. Patrick Mahomes is the best there is in the
He's
world
amazing
right
now.
now. And if anybody can dethrone Tom Brady as the best ever, it's him. Having said that, guys, I want to give credit to where the Kansas City defense. They're holding opponents to 17 points per game. They've been monsters at stopping the rush, pretty darn good against the pass. But that will be where they will shine here, their run defense. All right, this is a stop units that contained Kamara, Henry, Moss, Robinson, and Dobbins to 26, 46, 34, 31, and 32 yards rushing in consecutive weeks. By the way, let's not forget Kansas City has covered 7 straight. We're in the underdog role, guys, in the underdog role. Keep making them an underdog. They're going to keep beating the books, I'll tell you that. Last year, I was on your show, 3 times in a row, Frank, and 3 times I took Kansas City as a dog those last 3 weeks. And everybody, I said, I don't know how you make this. And it's not because of that I have a loyalty to Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. I will tell you this. Giving this team points is a mistake. And they're reading into this game this week, laugh and go, yeah, we got all the World Series.
I agree.
We got, I wouldn't say World Series. We got all the Super
Bowls, exactly. All right,
Yep.
Kansas City. So, Joe, I have one more question here in the Punch Ball. The Punch Ball are some topics, and it's got a video clip. And I saved this one for you. So here's the joke.
Red underwear.
No,
Once again, you're going to ask me. It's red underwear.
Here we go. Hey, Anthony, why does your Yankee jersey smell like beer? Perhaps he was sitting out in the left field stands on Tuesday night. That was the setup. Roll this clip, and so I want you to see this clip. This is Judge's homer from a fan perspective. So here you go. I don't know if this is a normal thing they do in Yankee Stadium. So right here, you don't need to see this. It's wait till we get to the crowd. So tell me if this is what it's like in the left field stands for Yankee games. Now watch the ball go over. Why are they all throwing beer on each other? Beer shower, beer, water, beer. What is that? It's a home run by Aaron Judge. Is this normal?
I'm going to tell you right now, nothing is normal when you're dealing with the postseason in the Bronx. But I will tell you this, Frank. I have a theory about this. I have a theory that a lot of these guys were half in the bag before that happened. And this is their way. If they get pulled over on the way home, they can say, I was at the Yankee game. I wasn't drinking.
That's just an officer. I was sitting in the left field bleachers. Look, here's video of me getting showered on.
Just understand that everything that I say is always going to have a, like, so just in case I get pulled over, we got to give out those. I've been there.
You're thinking.
No, you know what? I haven't seen that. Back in you got to understand, I'm out of New York 35 years. I still go back for games.
Sure.
But I've got to be honest with you, Frank. They're just happy to be back there and to be playing well again. I know that we've had, everybody likes to hate the Yankees because they're so successful, but I'm glad to see this team because I think it's good for sports also, getting them to the Fall Classic once again. And once again,
it's good for baseball.
That I was afraid of in the American League was Houston. They're gone. Yeah. And the only team I was afraid of in the National League is Philly. So I think the Yankees are looking pretty good right now.
I think Yankees, Dodgers. All right, Joe, last thing I'm going to tell you here. I had a question of the day because tonight we have Bo Nix versus Shane Rattler. Those are 2 cool sounding names. I said, give me the all-time name matchup at quarterbacks, fictional or not. I went Alexander the Great versus Attila the Hun. But let's see here. Nick Sassone, Shane Falco versus Willie Beeman. Those are 2 fictional. That's the replacements. Okay. And any given Sunday. Minidar is the White Sox are for sale. Yeah, Jerry Rohnsdorf says he might sell them. Minidar is going to start a GoFundMe. Let's see here. Miracle Mets yesterday anniversary was correct. Dennis Evans, we love Dennis. NFL MVP.
I got a real one for you, Frank.
All right, give me one. Give me a matchup.
Ron Jaworski and Steve Bartkowski. I remember the game back in the 70s. They actually played, and the darn announcer couldn't get the 2 names right through the entire game. It was kind of fun. It was fun. Here's one I want you to think about.
All right, give it to me.
If me and D'Amico Ryans were to get married, he'd be D'Amico. It's a thinker.
That's like if Ella Fitzgerald married Darth Vader, her name would be Elevator. I remember that as a kid.
I like that
That's a good one. And then let's see, what was the other one? Crap, I don't remember. Darth Vader, Shania Twain. It was a Shania. I don't remember. Oh, Rick Monday.
I remember all the dirty ones.
Wait, if Rick Monday married actress Tuesday Weld, her name would be Tuesday Monday. Okay, there you go.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. Listen, the last thing someone said, how about Alabama, Tennessee, which is a game they were just talking about on TV. I like Tennessee. I think their home field advantage is amazing. Let's see here. Anything else? And Tommy Green. Tommy's back. Tommy endured some hurricane troubles down there. He also likes the St. Louis Blues tonight, plus 122. He's going hockey. I like that. So, Joe, we know your time is valuable. Where do you watch the games this weekend? Where will you be?
I'm going to be at your house with my red underwear.
Okay.
No, I'll be this weekend, actually, maybe a local bar. There's a couple of nice local bars, depending on where I'm actually betting my biggest bets. Here's the thing, Frank.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys in my business, they'll TiVo a million games.
Right.
They'll watch them all weekend. I watch very few games, especially because I bet a little bit heavier and I don't want to be aggravated. So sometimes I don't check a score or a game for the whole weekend. And I'll just check the account the following day. But there are a few places. I always like to come down to the South Point. It's my favorite place to watch games. It's my favorite book. And let's not get Vinny and Jimmy and Chris all big-headed because they are the last of the three greatest book bosses.
They're the best.
And they run the best book in town. But I like coming down by you and watching games. If I want to come and watch a game in the crowd, it'll be over at the South Point. It's my favorite place. It really is my favorite place to watch the game.
It's the best. And I'm excited this Sunday. I don't know if I'll come down here or not, but it's the Jets versus the Steelers. Vinny and I have made a bet. If the Steelers beat the Jets, he's going to take me shopping to Savers, which is my discovery here in Vegas. I know, Joe. I know how much. Anyway, and then I got to take him shopping. I'm going to have to take him to, I don't know, Lloyd's of London. I don't know where I got to take him, but somewhere fancy.
Vinny's Italian. He's got expensive taste. You got to be careful for him. You got to be careful.
Tommy Green, last comment. I'm not reading that, but Tommy's back, everybody. So there you go. Tommy, we love that you're back. Joe, we know you got to set up for ESPN, so we're going to say goodbye to you. I'll text. I listened on the way. I was thinking about you reading your text. I was listening to Night Ranger in my car because you and I went to the Strat and saw Night Ranger when they were in town. We got to go to a concert again because we had a blast together.
There's a good concert Saturday at Vamped, our local place.
That's your
Vamped.
bar, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great concert. Who's it? Enough's Enough, Dion? My wife, she's the boss of the brains.
Wait,
I'm just a good look.
They spell their name ENUFF.
Saturday night.
Yeah, ENUFF, right? Enough?
Yeah, is it Friday or Saturday, D? Friday. Let's go Friday.
All right, we'll talk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Joe D'Amico giving out 3 games.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
He likes Duke, Texas, and Kansas City. I have to take these headphones off. That was unbelievable. What a show. We had 2 Paisans. We had Vinny. We had Joe. We had Dennis Evans, though. We'll make him Italian, too. Why not? 3 great guests. Thank you, gentlemen, for watching the show. Everybody in the chat room, very active today. We really appreciate it. Remember, if you're first time watching the show, click subscribe and you can be in the chat room in 5 minutes. Well, the show's over now, but tomorrow you can come back because Jeff Parles will be here. Not only is Jeff Parles going to be here, what's going on right now? Oh, the ALCS and the NLCS. We're going to have Greg Vaughn, who's actually played in the National League Championship Series and a World Series. So Greg Vaughn and Jeff Parles, why would you not tune into that show, ladies and gentlemen? Come back tomorrow. Thanks to everyone back there. Sean, thank you. And Vinny, Vince, Jerry, everyone. Thank you all for watching. It was a Stern reference. I got it, Tommy. Trust me, I listen. We'll see you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, Punchline stands for Live in Nevada, every show.